All right, guys, how you doing? It's Cool Chef Mika here with my first episode of Cool Chef Mika's Food Vibes. I will promise to be bringing you all the latest trends in foods. We're going to be doing some food reviews. I do pastry as well. So when you come into my channel, just know we're going to do some of everything and we're going to have fun while we're doing it. Now, I got my music playing because you got to have music playing while you're in the kitchen. That's a must. I have my cocktail ready. And I'm ready to begin. Alright guys, tonight we're going to be making some hibachi. Some chicken stir fry. So, first, let's go over all our ingredients, shall we? We have here some rice vermicelli noodles. They've already been par cooked to al dente state. And I tossed in a little bit of the oil just so that they won't stick together. They're ready to go. Here we have some stir-fried vegetables. This includes snap peas. We have carrots, squash, broccoli, water chestnuts. Everything has already been blanched. It's already been blanched and ready to go. So that's ready. We have some shrimp. We have chicken breast, brown sugar, some slivered onions, ginger, garlic. And here I explain my seasonings as we go. So first, guys, the first thing I want to do is get started with my sauce. So I'm going to sit here, turn that fire on. Let's get it going. You want your heat at about medium to medium low to begin with. Let's get started on our sauce. Our sauce is going to be the first thing that we're going to make here. So, first thing I want to do is we're going to get some butter in our pan. I usually do about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Alright. Make sure I get my whisk because we're going to need a whisk. If you want a smooth sauce, you have to have a whisk, right? Alright, guys. So I have the butter here melting. Got my whisk ready. Now I'm going to go over the ingredients that we're going to use for our sauce. Now the sauce I'm going to make is one of my signature stir-fry sauces. I've played with and tweaked these recipes over years. And from my experience with going to Asian and Chinese, Korean, Thai restaurants, I actually like all of them. So I've found a way to infuse all of their flavors into my stir-fry sauce. So this is what we're about to do. Our butter here is melting. We're going to be using brown sugar in our sauce. We're going to be using this here. This here is hoisin. Hoisin sauce is it's an Asian sauce. It's very thick. It has brown sugar. It has allspice, cloves. It has soy. It has teriyaki already in the sauce. So this is just going to be a great background for the rest of the things that we're going to add into it. We're also going to be adding in some ginger. And we're going to be adding in some garlic, as well as some of our seasonings. Alright guys, so here we have our butter nice and melted. Alright, first thing we're going to do, go in with some garlic. Now, a lot of people don't like to add their garlic in first because it browns, but I'm going to make sure mine don't brown. It's mixed. I like mine more like a garlic paste so that it cooks into the food and infuses it with flavor versus just big chunks of garlic sitting on everything. So I make sure I mix mine really, really well and kind of make a paste out of it. Alright. I'm going to start off with the spoon just to make sure our garlic is getting nice and toasted but not brown. Alright guys, our garlic is pretty much where we want it. See that? Now into our pan with our garlic, we're going to add in our ginger. I like to get those going first because I like to release all the aromatics, get all those flavors cooking in the pot before I add in anything else. My garlic and ginger always goes first. All right, guys. Now we're going to be adding in that hoisin I told you about. We're going to add in all of that hoisin. All right, guys, we got the hoisin in. Can you guys see that? So we have our hoisin, and now I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit. Oh yeah, get some fire going. All right, guys, it's going to go fast from here. We're going to be adding in some fish sauce, Asian fish sauce. This is really, really good. It's very, very pungent, and it's very, very strong, so we don't need a lot. I'm going to put in this a couple of tablespoons. Teaspoons, rather. All right. Maybe I gave us a little bit too much heat. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. Next in, sesame seed oil. It's a must for hibachi. You don't need much of that, about a teaspoon to do you. This is more pungent than the fish sauce, actually. From here, next I'm going to be adding a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Now, a lot of recipes don't actually call for this in their stir-fry sauces, but for me, I like a little bit of acidity. That's going. Now we're going to add in some soy. All right. A few times around the pot with our soy. Pretty much all we need. Pineapple juice. You can use whatever kind you want. Me, I've gotten Dole. Me, I usually put in the whole can. That's where I get a lot of that good sweetness from, as well as my brown sugar. So I'm going to give this a little stir. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so freaking awesome. All right, guys, let's hit our sauce with a little bit of black pepper. We can do better than that. Here I have a cayenne and red pepper flake mixture. You don't want too much of that. Let's not burn ourselves. We're going to add in some garlic and onion powder. A little bit of salt. Some celery seed and salt mixture. I don't use a lot because our celery is very powerful, and I do not want that overpowering my sauce. Next, what I have here is known as Chinese fast spice. Sorry, guys, some of that got in my eye. You know how it is with everything in the air. It's got in my eye. So I'm going to be adding in some Chinese fast spice. Chinese fast spice is garlic, it's nutmeg, it's cinnamon, it's ginger. It's all goodness. So guys, now we have everything almost ready for our sauce. Now what I'm going to do is give us a little bit more heat again and add in some of that brown sugar. Now I use light brown sugar, but you can use dark if you want. I would suggest if you use dark brown sugar that you use less than you will with light brown sugar. Being because dark brown sugar is a lot more pungent, right? It's stronger. We don't want to overpower those flavors, all those awesome things we put in this pot. We don't want to overpower those. I'm going to add in a couple of fingerfuls of this brown sugar. Oh, guys, I forgot one last thing. Black bean paste. One of my favorites. If you've ever ordered any Hunan or Szechuan and you see little black beans floating around in your food when you order it from a restaurant and you're wondering what it is, it's black bean paste. Very, very good in this cuisine. I'm going to add that in there. As you can see, our sauce is definitely hot. Give that a good stir. Look at that, guys. Now you see how runny it is? It's not a sauce yet. It's more of like a flavored juice. So we're going to change that right now. I'm going to show you something that I call a little bit of kitchen magic. Excuse me, guys. I guess that means I need a sip of my cocktail. That's delicious as well. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a slurry. Now with this slurry that we're going to make, we're going to be using cornstarch and just some water. I don't need much more than that. I could have went by way of making a roux, but it's not really necessary for a sauce like this. And then it's a lot more fattening. So I would rather do it with cornstarch. And guess what? It's a lot quicker. You guys see my music playing? You gotta have good music while you're in the kitchen. Got to. Now, guys, I seem to set up here and forgot one of my bowls. So what I'm doing now is just dumping my brown sugar out on one of my extra plates here, because we're done with it. I'm going to use this bowl to make our slurry. Alright. Now we're making a little bit of sauce, so we don't need a lot of this cornstarch. I'm going to put in about a 1/4 cup. From here, we're going to be adding in water into our slurry. Now, I like to kind of mix while I'm doing it. Sometimes it's hard. You only need a little. So don't just say things. All right, guys. So I just mixed that cornstarch in with some water. It's just a basic slurry. Nothing special. Now, this is where the magic comes in. You know our sauce is not very thick at all. Look how it's running right back in that pot. You see that? It's not a sauce yet. The way it runs off my spoon, it's not ready. That's how I know. But with the power of our slurry here, I'm just going to slowly add this into our sauce now. As I stir it in. Now, as I'm stirring, guys, of course you guys don't know this, but I feel the sauce thickening as I'm stirring. We just want to whisk this to make sure it's nice and smooth. We don't want lumps. See, guys, I told you we probably weren't going to use all that slurry. You don't need very much at all. Now I want to show you how thick it is versus how it was a few moments ago. Now look at this. You see how thick it's gotten? And look how it coats the back of my spoon. This is called nappe consistency. N-A-P-P-E. That just means that your sauce is done when it gets to the consistency where it covers the back of the spoon without dripping off fast. So we're good. Alright, I'm going to kill our fire for a moment, because we have our sauce done. Now's the fun part. I'm going to take our sauce and I'm going to set our sauce off to the side because it's not time for it yet, but it will be. So I'm going to take our sauce, just take it off the stove for now. Just set that to the side. Now, let's get to the stir fry. Now, guys, I have my wok here because we're making stir fry. Let's get the party started. We need some heat on our pan again. Now, I like to get my wok screaming hot. Screaming hot to start off with. First off, what we're going to be doing is we're going to sliver our onions. And it says sliver our onions. They're already slivered, right? We're going to saute up our onions. So, around the bowl a few times with our EVOO. You see that smoke coming off there? It's hot. All right, guys. Got a hot wok. Now with the wok, a wok cooks all around the surface area, all on the side. So we want to make sure we get our oil all around. So I'm just simply swirling the oil. All right, guys, I think I've coated that good enough there. Let's get those onions in. All right. I'm just tossing those onions to get them coated in this sauce, or in our oil, so they can cook down. Onions are in. Get those nice and translucent. Now, guys, I chose to do stir fry because at the end of the day, after you've worked, you've dealt with the kids, homework, laundry, everything, you need something fast, right? So stir fry is actually not a meal that takes long. Think about it. When you guys call to order Chinese, what do they tell you? 10 to 15 minutes, right? Exactly. As long as you have all of your ingredients in-house, you can cook this up in no time for your family. This is a really, really good way to prepare dinner after a long day when everybody's hungry but everybody's tired. All right, guys. So those onions are sweating. They're getting nice and translucent. You see that? All right, guys. First thing, we're going to add in our chicken. Now, this chicken has been marinated in white wine. I like to soak my chicken in white wine before hibachi because it helps to lock in that moisture. It helps it with flavor, and it's awesome, so why not? So, I'm going to be adding in, actually, wait, before we get to the chicken. We need to add in some of our garlic. Nice, good, hefty spoon of garlic. Doesn't hurt. Alright, same thing we did before. We don't want to brown our garlic because when you brown your garlic, it gets bitter. We don't want it bitter. Just want to toast it up real quick, guys. Alright. Onions and garlic are ready. Now we can add in that chicken that's been marinated in that white wine. Now, I just had some boneless chicken breasts here. Oops. And I just slivered really, really thinly for the purpose of our hibachi here. Straight into the pan it goes. I'm just squeezing it with my tongs to release some of that wine off of it. We don't need any of that wine. Chicken's in, guys. Now let's make sure it gets soft with those onions. Let's make sure it gets mixed in with all that garlic. Now you may find that you need a little bit more oil in your pan. No problem. There's never a wrong time to add it if you need it. So I'm just going to go around my pan a couple of more times with some oil. And then I'm going to take a sip. chicken's cooking up nicely. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so awesome in here. Alright guys, now that chicken is almost where I need it to be before I go on to the next step. Seasoning, seasoning, seasoning. So first, we're going to go in with some black pepper. Get you a couple of teaspoons of black pepper down in there. Some salt. Now with the salt in the actual meat, I don't put much because we still have that sauce that's going to go on top. A little bit more of that celery. We're going to use the rest of our onion and garlic powder straight into the pot. A little bit more of our cayenne and red pepper. Oh, it smells so awesome. I'm going to show you guys where we are now. Our chicken isn't there yet, but it's almost there. Almost there, guys. That's why I cut it nice and thin. And besides, when you're doing hibachi, you don't want big old chunks of chicken anyway. You want a lot of chicken, but it's not big chunks. Alright, guys. This smells so freaking awesome. I wish you guys were all here. Alright, now while this is getting there, I'm going to come around. I'm going to show you guys about these rice vermicelli noodles. Now the rice vermicelli noodles, I prefer these with my stir fry over udon or over lo mein, and I also prefer this over rice. That's just my preference, but that's what I like. These here, they have a lot of bite. Even to be so small, I mean, look at the strings of noodles. It's vermicelli. But they have a lot of body to them. They have a lot of bite. Not much flavor. I will give you that, not much flavor, but you're going to get all your flavor infused when you put it in your stir fry. So that's totally fine. Alright guys, back over here to our pan. Now I want you to see what we have here. I want you to see, we can see all of our seasonings on our chicken and our onions. You can see everything. Now I do have one other seasoning that I waited to use. And that was for a reason. This here is an Asian cuisine seasoning. It's made by the Bamboo Chef. It's dope, guys. If you want to do anything Asian, if you want to make fried chicken, if you want to do any hibachi like I'm doing, stir fry, anything, Bamboo Chef. Trust me, it's great. And it's an all-purpose Asian seasoning. So if you're making anything within that cuisine, it'll go great on. Alright guys, our chicken is ready now. So I'm just going to make a well here in the middle of my pan. And that's just sliding all the food up to the sides. That's why a wok is made this way. When you want to have something cook slower, you just slide it up to the sides of your pan because that gets heat, but not as direct heat as the bottom. So I just slid everything over and made a well right there in the middle. Now, when I set it back down, all those oils are released into the bottom of the pan. It's time to add in the shrimp. Shrimp goes straight into the middle. All right. Now, right on top of those shrimp, we're going to add in our seasoning. That good old Bamboo Chef Asian seasoning. It doesn't have sodium, a lot of MSG, anything, so I don't mind using it liberally. Alright? As you can hear, the pan is slowed down from cooking because the shrimp have a lot of moisture. So it's okay to turn your fire up a little bit, as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing. Alright? Now, after the shrimp starts to get a little pink, we're going to start to add in the rest of our ingredients. We're almost done here, guys. It's almost time to eat. Let me get our tongs ready for our plating. How you guys doing out there this evening? It's been a long day. That's why I'm making hibachi. You guys can't see what's going on down here. The power of television. Alright guys. I'm going to get in here and toss our shrimp around to make sure that everything is getting nice and coated. They're starting to turn pink. Smells so good. While we're waiting on this to come to temp, I'm going to take this chance to tell you guys, make sure you go like, follow, and subscribe to this channel. I'll be here weekly, sometimes twice a week, depending on how my schedule goes, because I am busy and I do have my own business, so there's a lot going on. But I promise to bring you guys videos, new footage, weekly, if not 2 times a week. But you can definitely expect to see me once a week. We're going to be preparing sweet things. We're going to be preparing savory. The holidays are coming, guys. I got a lot coming up for you with the holidays. Alright, guys. I'm going to start mixing in our shrimp with our chicken because our shrimp is at the point now. It's ready to go. I'm going to show you guys what we have now. We have the chicken, we have the onions, we have the shrimp, and all those awesome flavors. All right. So, into our pan now, guess what goes next? Can you guess? Anybody? No takers? Our vegetables are going next. Like I said, in this bowl, we have broccoli, snap peas, carrots, water chestnuts. We have squash, red peppers, yellow peppers. We have everything for a stir fry. Straight into the pan, guys. Now you want to always add your vegetables in towards the end because they've already been blanched. They've already been part cooked. You don't want soggy vegetables, right? You want them to have a little crunch to them. Give everything a nice toss. Look at what we got, guys. We're almost there. All right. Just making sure that I make sure all of my shrimp are no longer translucent. Making sure that all of my shrimp are nice and pink. And I believe we're there. Make sure everybody gets a good look at this. All right. I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit because now we're going to add in our sauce. The awesome sauce we made earlier. Time to go. Now I didn't use the whole pot. I used about half. I just basically like mine to coat my food. Not necessarily saturate. Guys, oh my gosh, I wish you were here. This smells so freaking awesome. I'll show you guys what we got. It smells so freaking awesome in here. Can everybody see that? Oh. All right, now from this point, some people like to actually toss their pasta in the pot. Not me. I like to actually dress my pasta. So that's what we're going to do next. Let me just move some of these items out the way so we can begin on our next step. Now guys, I hope everybody paid attention. It's not difficult to make hibachi. You can make this in any variation you want. You can use steak. You can use scallops. You can actually use tofu. So for all our vegetarians out there, you do not have to use meat. You know this. You would omit some of the sauces because some of the sauces I use actually do contain meat byproducts. So just switch up some of your sauces. All right, now we've let this simmer here. I turned the heat down. We let it simmer. And I just did that to make sure that the sauce adheres to and flavors all of those vegetables, our chicken and our shrimp. Look at that. All right. So we're going to turn off our heat because we're done with it, right? Now, guys, I hope that you really, really enjoyed tonight's show. This was just the first of many. I'm going to be doing all kind of things, like I said before. I'm showing you guys plating techniques. I'll be showing you guys all kind of stuff. And we're also going to do food reviewers. I am a food reviewer. I love to go to restaurants, check out the scene, see what my service is going to be like, and then let the public know, because there's no need to be wasting your money on something that's not fantastic, especially when you have to eat it. All right, guys, so I'm just going to take a big old mound here of rice vermicelli noodles. You can do it whatever way you want, but my boys are ready to eat. So me, I just like to make a big mound. One big old mound. All right. Now, we're going to take our stir fry. And we're just going to pile that right on top. Let me go this way so I can make sure you guys see what we got going on here. Up overboard. Get in the middle like the rest of you guys. Just make a big old mound, guys. All right, I don't think we're going to need all of it. My boys will come back down if they're looking for seconds, thirds, or fourths. All right. To finish mine's off, I love to use dried and fresh herbs. I like the contrast. So here I have some parsley and some chives. And I'm just going to sprinkle that all over the place. And I have some fresh green onion. Let me make sure I get this here. Excuse me, guys. Make sure I clean off my edges. I hate a dirty plate. So, guys, we've just made hibachi. Chicken, shrimp, rice vermicelli noodles, and I showed you guys how to make your own at-home stir-fry sauce. This is going to be awesome, guys. I wish I could share. I wish you guys could know what it tastes like right now. But that's why I just cooked it for you. Go home. Cook it. Prepare it. It's easy. Look how fast we're done. From start to finish, this meal is done. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every like. I appreciate every share. And I definitely appreciate the subscribe. Subscribe. I can't say it enough. That's where all of this content will be loaded to. Every now and then I will double up and do YouTube and Facebook. But mainly all this content is for YouTube. So, Cool Chef Mika's Food Vibezz on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Every platform, I'm there. So guys, remember, come back. Because where else are you going to learn how to make some good old hibachi? Where else? I mean, you can go somewhere else, but why not come see my pretty face? Thanks, guys. Until next time, it's Cool Chef Mika, and I'll see you soon.